Beyond the migration, that's gonna be the title, but that's also the answer. What's beyond the migration? Hi guys, I'm Tim. I'm working for One Data, and I'm very delighted to take you on a journey and to show you that the SAP BW migration is much more than what people actually think it is. Now, imagine this. Tuesday morning, steering committee, and there's one big topic at the agenda, the SAP BW migration. And most likely, your CFO will be saying, I'm not going to spend 10 or 50 million euros just to get back the same reports that I'm already having. And honestly, I think he's right. If that's all you do, it's just going to be a waste of resources, time, and budget. Nonetheless, this is a discussion that keeps arising currently in any kind of enterprises. Why? It's 3 letters and a deadline. SAP and the end of maintenance in December 2027. So the migration is actually not a question of the if anymore. It's a question of the how and when. And what I found most interesting about this is actually while the CFO is pushing back the budget, the CIO is actually being asked to introduce agentic AI, LLMs, all those exciting things in the company. And then there's just this SAP BW migration, which just seems to be like a burden on the list. And I think, and I would argue today, that it's actually exactly the opposite. I would even go as far as this compelling event of having the end of maintenance is actually a great chance and one of the best and most strategic things that can actually happen to data teams nowadays. And in the next 16 minutes, I would like to show you why I think so. Now, let's start with a small game. Do you all know the game 2 Lies and 1 Truth? So I'm having 3 different hypotheses here, and I want you guys to identify which of those hypotheses you think is the truth. So the first one is, choose the right platform for your future AI readiness. The second one, some protect their investments with brownfield, some other protect their future with greenfield. And the third one is, migration is your big cleanup opportunity that fixes legacy and your technical debt. So hands up. Who thinks the first one is the truth? All right, got some hands. Who thinks the second one is the truth? All right, some more hands. Nice. And who thinks the third one is the truth? All right, thank you. Quite an honest audience. I like it. I've been in talks for the past 18 months with over 50 enterprises. And today I would like to argue and show you why I think all 3 of them are actually a lie. And I don't think that they are necessarily stupid, and I don't think that the people who say them are essentially wrong, but because each of them has a kernel of truth. But if you stop right there, it leads you in the wrong direction. So let's dive in. Number 1. The target, quo vadis, SAP BW. And that's a fascinating question. And it basically is the number 1 question always coming up. And I always answer it with 3 simple words. From all the talks I've had, aligning with partners, aligning with consultancies, I don't know. And well, it depends. And I mean it. So every enterprise actually I've worked with has a different answer. So some stay within the SAP, go in the direction of a BDC in a data sphere. Some go in the direction of Databricks. Some go to Microsoft Fabric. Some go to BigQuery. The worst answer that I could give to that question would actually be a confident one. Now, if you look at all those different tools, it's on the other side, if you look at all those different tools, They are actually from different vendors. They have different strengths, but if you look at the core functionalities, they are actually tending to convert. And also, most enterprises are not just stopping at one of those platforms. They usually have a mixture of multiple of them. SAP BDC for SAP native use cases, Microsoft Fabric for Microsoft use cases, machine learning in Databricks. They have Snowflake for cross cloud sharing. The platform debate is real, but I think it's not the actual lever. So what I'm really missing in this entire debate is not the what. What platform do I choose? It's actually the how. How do I ensure that the data after my migration is actually trustworthy and ready for AI? And according to colleagues from Cloudera and business, the Harvard Business Study, only 7% of enterprises actually think that all of their data is AI ready. 97%, according to a different study from Atlan, think that there is a context blocker that really keeps AI from scaling. So you see, the challenge here is not the data platform and having the different kind of AI features in place. All of those platforms, they're great, and all of them have immense potential and features. The real question here is whether your data after migration is actually trustworthy enough to empower those AI features. Sorry. So that rather than spending all your energy, all your time in deciding which platform to choose, what often falls short here is how do we build a foundation of trusted, governed, and quality-sure data? And the market actually has an answer to that, and it's data products. It's business entities that are well documented, quality assured, governed, they have policy, they have a clear lineage, they are understandable for business, they are secure for IT, and the best thing, they are immediately accessible. And immediately accessible is the important thing here. When business asks for a new AI use case, you don't have months to build up, to prepare all those use cases. You maybe actually have a few days. And if your data is not trustworthy, the initiative is just going to die in preparation. So you see, AI readiness is not a feature from your future data platform. AI readiness begins in building a trusted data foundation. Number 2, it actually impresses me. The SAP BW system has been there for 15, 20, 25 years. That's immense. It has generated immense business value. But over time, of course, legacy is stacking up. There is legacy code within the system. It has been implemented by data architects, data engineers that might not be with the company or might even have retired. 25 years, that's quite a big amount of time. Nonetheless, there are still reports that most or some don't even know how they work, but they're still much more in use. And on top of that, there were still some investments, huge investments in the past that ran into your SAP BW system. So the discussion I always experience is, do I go brownfield or do I go greenfield? And to me, that's just a false debate. It's always going to be a mixture of both of them. And of course, if you have unlimited time, resources, and budget, you would always go for greenfield, build everything up from scratch. But unfortunately, I believe not everyone has the time and the budget to do that. So the art is not choosing the one or the other. The art is actually in choosing what do I want to keep, what do I need to redesign, and what do I need to rebuild from scratch. Now, what do you think is the key? The key here and the central point is actually business. the alignment between IT and business is what makes or breaks your migration. Transparency is going to be the foundation, but the real work is in understanding what is actually needed, what is actually nice to have, what is missing, and what can be decommissioned. And only your business can actually answer those questions. And I'm being honest with you, I also have a track record as a data scientist and a data engineer, and fortunately for me, my former boss is not here anymore, but there were requirements that you just quickly implement. They are sliding into production, business is happy, but you never had the time to really refactor and rescale those use cases. And now, with the SAP BW migration, you have attention from your C-level. You need to do something with the end of maintenance. You have budget that is committed to this initiative. And now you finally have the permission to align with business. You have the opportunity to take business critical reports and rescale them. And you have the time and resources to build up a future-proof data architecture in a modern tech stack. If you ask me, that's like a 6 in the lottery for any data team and any data leaders. Number 3. So what we have seen so far is the SAP BW is quite complex, and over years there have been some legacy shapes building up. Of course, there have been also within the SAP new technology shifts, paradigm changes, there have been new coding conventions. As said, there might be data engineers that are being retired, and from our experience, we've seen that around 30 to 40% of what it is in your SAP BW system is actually just legacy, technical debt. On the other hand, what we have seen and just learned is the SAP BW migration is a great initiative, a great chance for you to build up a future-proof data architecture. Now, the question is, we have a starting point, we have an end point. In between, we know we need to align with business, but how do we all get everything together? And that's the actual trap here. This manually, step by step, and with the world just moving forward, new requirements coming in, new use cases, new regulations, by the time your team will be done with the migration, they will just be building up new legacy layers within your new structure, within your new data platform. So to say, with the migration, they are just having the same problem in a more modern data stack. And here's where I think it gets really exciting. And I'm really excited, and I think we are in a very disruptive point of time where you have such powerful tools in place, like agentic AI, like Gen AI, like LLMs, that have not been existing like 3 to 5 years ago. Why would you not make use of them in such an essential future-proof initiative like an SAP BW migration? And in my opinion, migration and automatization is not a nice to have within your migration. It's actually the only opportunity to finish in time and in budget with, well, on the one hand side, understanding your current system, giving the opportunity to align business with AI, business with IT in recommending data assets, translating your legacy code, your legacy structure into modern programming language like SQL, like Python, like PySpark, and directly integrating them into your new modern data and target architecture. Automatization is not only important for the modernization, and I think that's what most people miss. It's actually an approach, the same engine that can be used for the migration that can also be used later on. once you're done with the migration, the Monday after you have finished, this entire approach of having automatization, having direct integration into target platforms, and having an agentic AI working in the platform, the migration gives you the possibility to enable this, to do that, to introduce that, also not just for the migration, but for everything that comes beyond the migration. Now, let's bring this all together. I've started my talk with 3 different hypotheses, which I do not want you to take away from the talk that I just gave you. What I actually want to take you away from this talk are 3 things. Number 1, the data platform is important. It depends on your data strategy, but every modern platform is more than enough. The real lever, I think, is not the platform itself. It's a trusted, governed data foundation. Number 2, it's never just the one or the other. It's never just brownfield or greenfield. It's always a mixture of the both of them. And the key to really draw the line here is business. Business is able to decide what are must-haves, nice-to-haves, and what I really need to ensure to rebuild in my new data platform. Number 3, migration, and especially the SAP BW migration, is one of the rare moments where you have management attention, where you have budget, and you have urgency. So make use of that. And do not just use it as a one-time initiative to clean up your technical debt. Use it as to introduce an automation framework that goes far beyond your migration. A framework that will accelerate your data engineers, that will ensure your coding conventions, that make sure all of your engineering framework is automatically set up in your target structures. Now, all in all, I think the BW migration is your great opportunity to build a future-ready data foundation aligned with business, powered by AI, with budget, management attention, and momentum. So make sure you use this opportunity to move forward. Now, if any of that sounded reasonable to you, and you're also currently stuck within a BW migration, we from OneData are very happy to empower you in this path by creating transparency across your SAP BW system, by extracting all the metadata, giving you a platform where your business can align with your IT, having it powered by AI with asset recommendation, with a direct translation of your legacy ABAP, non-ABAP code, with your starting routines, with the dependencies, directly into a modern programming language like SQL, like PySpark, like Python, and automatically deploy it in your future agnostic target platform, which can be any of the well-known target platforms you can imagine. It also adheres to your coding standards and also to your data engineering framework. So everything is actually taken into account by the agentic AI model. And it's your chance to really build up a future-proof, AI-ready data foundation. And with that said, thank you very much for your attention. And thank you very much. You can find us at the booth D101 for more information. Thank you.